Hey guys, Jackson Savvy here. Today I actually get to bring you an unboxing video. Now just by pure luck am I doing this. I've been wanting to do a Ryzen 7 build for some time because I like to stream. I use all the Adobe products. So I've got an old system with an i5 3rd gen, 12 gigs of RAM, and it's time to upgrade. So I just happened to get lucky on a lottery ticket here in Texas, $500. So that covered the biggest part of the build that I've been waiting to do. So today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Ryzen 7 1700 with the Wraith Spire cooler, which that won't be something I keep. That'll be just starting out until I either liquid cool or get like a Noctua air cooler, but it'll get me going, not too much overclocking. Next we got the SRock X370 Taichi, and this is a motherboard I've been eyeing for months now. It's got 12 power phases, ugly as sin. It's in a black and white color scheme, but it really will get the job done. For RAM, we've got the TridentZ A&GbE, and I went ahead and sprung for the $245 3200 megahertz RAM. Now it is CAS 14 timings, which are supposed to be great for Ryzen. And as far as thermal compound, I'm gonna give Noctua's a try. You see Mr. Pickles back there, he's got the RAM and the Noctua thermal compound, which usually I use Arctic Silver 5, but we're gonna see how it does. We can always change it if we need to, but enjoy the unboxing. Okay, first up, we've got the Noctua NTH1 thermal compound. Now, nothing special here. You see the front and the back here. Nothing special. It's got some application instructions, customer support numbers, all that good stuff. It's supposed to be good for about 15 applications. Now, on this one, all we do is just go ahead and slide it out. And we've got it there and ready to go. It's got the precise or the precision tip for putting it on the heatsink. So we'll get to that on the actual build. Now next up we've got the TridentZ RGB RAM, and this is two 8GB sticks. This one costs about $245. They get a lot better deals right now with it being close to Black Friday. And this one actually says for Intel down here, but with the timings being CAS 14, I believe they're 14, 14, 14 something, but they're tight enough, should be really good with the RAM. So on the back just gives a little bit of their spiel on it. Now actually getting into it so y'all can see what these look like. We'll slide them out. And really good looking RAM. Now at the top is the RGB, excuse me. It looks like we got some badges in there to badge up our build. And there's the back. We'll take them out and let you see one without the glare on it, if I can get them out. It's got the two-piece plastic assembly, and there's a little badge. I've also got one with a EVGA that I got with my GTX 1070. And here we have the RAM. The RAM looks really good. It's got a sheen to it with a brushed metal. You see the heat risers dissipate heat. They are a bit fat for RAM, but that's totally fine. We'll dissipate some good heat, and RGB all the way across. Now we've got the Ryzen 7 1700. Now this one I could have gotten a better deal on. I paid the full $300 for it. I see it go for as low as $279 sometimes. You'll see they've actually got the processor showing right there. This one comes with the Wraith Spire cooler. Now on this one it's supposed to be, as they'll tell you at the top, you probably can't see that, but it's supposed to be a 3 gigahertz base clock with a 3.7 gigahertz precision boost, as they call it. But as we all know, these chips are unlocked. So this one, once I get a better cooling solution, will probably be locked in right at 3.9. That way I can justify it past my i5 since it has a lower base clock. Now opening it up, very first thing you see is the Wraith Spire cooler. So let's see how this comes out of here. Try not to damage it. So we got one box with the Wraith Spire cooler. And then if you'll notice in there, just that little window we saw at the side, right there, that is actually the processor. So this huge nice box just for the processor. Now it looks like we've got a badge for it too, which I'll probably badge up the system with A&GbE, Ryzen, and anything else we come across, the TridentZ. Let's go ahead and open up this processor and check it out. Now when we pop it open, you can see the back of the processor showing real nicely, and the front. Now on the front here, if you've never done a system build, that's where the thermal compound's actually going to go. This is the socket where it sits inside the motherboard. You see all those little gold pins? That's what makes the connection to the motherboard. We'll pop it out so we don't get as much glare on it. So $300 just for that. And imagine that they go up so expensive, especially when you get up to Threadripper or some really high-end i7s. Now for the Wraith Spire cooler, let me put this back up. I don't want to damage the chip right off the bat. Now the Wraith Spire, this is a great thermal solution to actually come with it. It's got a bit of a larger fan than most Intel solutions come with. And to boot, it's also got the RGB ring. Now I know you can't see it right now, but this thin little layer that's right between the plastic all the way around, there's an LED there. And that's going to make for a great looking build. But like I said, factory or pre-done thermal solutions usually aren't your best for overclocking. If you also notice, what you're seeing right there is a perfect pad of thermal paste. Now even though it's already got it on there, there's no way I'm going to use thermal paste that's pre-applied. Never. But yes, so the processor and the Wraith Spire cooler. And now the one I'm most excited about is the SRock X370 Taichi motherboard. So you can see down here, it shows that it's compatible with Ryzen, AMD Crossfire, NVIDIA SLI, and socket AM4. So it's a really great motherboard. Like I said, it's really ugly compared to some of the other color schemes. And on the back, this gives a little bit about it. It's got a 802.11 AC built in, so good wireless built in. And I believe this one may have Bluetooth. It's got the SLI bridge built right in. Intel LAN, which if you know anything about local area network connection on your Ethernet, Intel is really reliable on that. Keeps your CPU utilization down. PCIe steel slots, if I can say that. PCIe steel slots, which reinforce where your graphics card go in, because as we know, some of those graphics cards are really heavy. Gives you a quick layout of your input and output. Tells you it's got dual USB 3.1, one that's type C and one type A. Quick picture of the motherboard. Hyper-B CLK engine 2. Now this can add for base clocks on everything for your processor and help you overclock through the BIOS. You got your RGB LED that's right around this part of the motherboard. Dual M.2s, which if you have an SSD, you already know the difference it makes in your computer. These M.2 slots can be 3 to 4 times faster, so eventually I'll end up getting a boot drive for that. And Purity sound built in, which gives you 7.1 channel HD audio. And the rest down here, just a little bit about the specs of it as well. So let's go ahead and get into this one. Comes with a nice little handle. Sadly enough, I'm more excited about the motherboard than I am the processor, just because of so many features that'll be available compared to my old motherboard and old i5. Let's see. Oh, this pulls out really nicely. Looks like a little briefcase. We'll just throw that down. Now, just for aesthetics, that is some very nice boxing. Has the SRock logo. Carrying case still built in. As we open it up, it looks like everything's just a bit jumbled. I'm not sure what they thought of there, but it's got a big old area right here with cables, which look like SATA. More SATA. I believe that's our SLI bridge that's in there. You've got your Wi-Fi antennas that are integrated into the board. A couple backup screws. And here's the I/O shield for all your USB ports and such. And good lord, I guess we've got quite a bit in the way of literature and everything. Looks like it's got a huge manual for it. Quick install guide that is that thick. I don't know how that's quick. And software setup guide. So at least you know they give you a little bit to help you along. And now under all of that's the main attraction, SRock motherboard. And they've actually got it padded, sealed. I'll get all this out of the way. Now if you notice the bag, they did make sure to keep the electrostatic bag. Keep anything from shorting out the board, which I already made sure to ground myself, so we should be good. Now we do have a little bit in the way here that we've got to cut to get to. Show you little wire ties that secure the foam on. I'll turn around and get all those off real quick. So they did take care in packaging this, like some of the lower rated boards I've gotten. They really seem to just toss them in there, so SRock is really taking care to make sure that this thing stays safe, doesn't short out, and no I/O gets crushed in the way. Now here we are. As you can see here, the board is really not traditional color scheme, but it does give you the Ryzen badge right off the bat that you know what it's for. White and black. I've seen some Stormtrooper builds that were really great with this, but that's not really my style. Down by my left hand here, we do have a display to show you any codes or anything on it. Right here is where the LG or RGB will be. You've got heat sinks. You've got right here is the main thing I'm really excited about. These are the high dollar capacitors along with 12 power phases, so that will make overclocking so much better and more stable. You got 4 slots for DDR4 RAM. Here's our slots for our video cards, and it actually gives you enough room with the reinforced ones to put, it looks like 2 dual cards in there, and the Purity Sound 4 right here. So, and right here's for the Ryzen chip. So all in all, this looks really good. It's got the X370 badging up here. There's the back of it. We've got our plate for attaching the Wraith Spire. Then we have our I/O right here, which is a bit hard to see on the camera, but the USB 3s, our Wi-Fi, our new USB 3.1s, Type C and Type A. Looks like we've got the little fiber optic link for the sound, one with 7.1 channel. So all in all, a really great looking board. I'm excited to go ahead and give it a try, and we'll see how it looks when I'm finished. Okay guys, well thanks for watching. It might not have been the coolest video, but if you're anything like me, I've never gotten to do a system build from a lot of brand new components, especially processor, motherboard, RAM. So at least you kind of got an idea how that stuff comes in, what it looks like when you get it. I'll go ahead and add some stuff to the video, some links to the parts. There's plenty of videos out there with benchmarks, but for me, the biggest upgrade will be multitasking, especially when you're doing video encoding. Gaming, not so much, not going to see a huge boost, but it will have more stability and won't bottleneck at the CPU, that's for sure. Streaming, it'll be great, but if you're interested in any of it, check the links down the video description. I'll have links to each part, and I'll give you a little bit more information also about the case I'm using, SSD I'm using, and the build will change over time, but I'll give you an idea kind of the performance boost on just a very basic level. But once again, thanks for watching.